Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. And this is going to be me kind of reviewing / just overall talking about Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. And I'm going to start off with just overall a brief description of the book and then going into a little bit more like in detailed things I liked. There's not really any things I disliked. This is one of my favorite books and one of my favorite series of all time. And this first book is about a girl named N whose mother goes missing, and there's a letter left that tells N that if her mother does not return by this certain time, that she is missing and to look for her. So N travels to the city of New Rains, which is nicknamed the City of Sin because of what goes on in that city. And in the letter there is a name in there. N's mother tells her to track down this person named Levi, and the story goes from there. I'm going to place the book down because I don't want to be holding it the entire time, but that's kind of the premise of the story. Now, going into the more nitty-gritty things of what are... now go into the things that I liked about it that might be spoilery, but not quite. Is I love that one of our main characters of Levi is a person of color and a LGBTQ plus person. He has darker skin, he is black, and is explicitly said, not explicitly said in the book, but explicitly said in the book that he is bi, and in this series has a relationship with a guy and a girl. I also love the overall arching plot and the way that everything is just kind of planned out so detailedly, and that it is overall just a fun plot. And I love N as a character, the way that she goes from first chapter being this innocent little girl to at the end she kind of becomes a badass and ends up killing people within the first 10 days of her arriving in New Rains, which is really cool, I guess. And then I love Levi because of the motives that he has for what he does. He is a gang, he's a lord of a gang, he's a lord of the Irons, which is a gang in New Rains, and the way that he's basically a con artist, and the way that ends up getting him in trouble is just perfect for the plot because of obviously how the plot goes. Overall, this story has so many different elements. It has the element of crime and all of that because obviously we follow people that are in gangs, and overall around us there's gangs. There's also casinos and card games and kind of mafia type families and all that. And then overall the magic system is really unique in my opinion. Basically how the magic system works is for each person you have two talents. One is your blood talent, which is your stronger one, and then there is the split talent, which is a more weaker version of is a weaker version of a talent, and you get one talent from each of your parents. So if your mom has two and your dad has two, when you're you will have two talents, one of being your mother's, one of being your father's. which I find very unique, and I don't think I've read any other book that has had any type of like magic. It's not even magic, it's more like abilities. Like, there are so many different things. Like, there's like actual like more magic-y type ones, but then there's also things like, oh, being good at dancing, being like fire resistant type thing, like, it's not like more of magic, it's more like talent type things, that these things are going to be like your talents, which is really cool. And in this world there's also these things called these like misers, which are like people that have all of the talent, not all the talents, but that have like the epic talent where they can create vaults, which vaults are the way of currency in this world. So the currency is really cool because they're like these little orbs that have these currencies, or you can even have them in your skin type thing that I still don't understand, and this was my second time reading through this book, so like I still don't quite understand that. But I also love this is just all the ways. I love the characters, I love the side characters, I love the plot, I love everything about it. I am horrible at reviews, but like overall this is a really good book with a really good plot. A lot of people tend to compare it to Six of Crows, which I see at one point and I do not see at the other point. Like, I would say if you like Six of Crows, you might like this because of the like gang, but that's where it ends the similarities. That's why I don't like it when people compare them, because they're two different stories, and this is actually one of what I would call like my core books, which would be like books that got me into reading that have actual like meaning or value to me, and this would have to be one of them, because this is the like first series that I read that was in a true like fantasy world, in a true world that is not our own, because all of the books I read before this were like in our world but in a different time or a different place, and there was these magical elements, and this takes place in a like entirely different world, in a time that's meant to be like, I think, the early 1900s type like setting, I'd say. Like, that's what like the time is meant to be, but I don't, this is all over the place, but yeah, I absolutely love this book. Both times I've read it, I've given this book 5 stars. It is just such an amazing book, and I am so excited for Queen of Bolts to come out on September 1st. Like, I'm trying to save up the money to be able to pre-order it so I can get my hands on it. If not, I'll buy the ebook and read it immediately beforehand, like immediately when it comes out. But like, I just absolutely love this book. I love the characters. I'm so excited to continue with the series and reread King of Fools, which is the sequel to this, and I might do an entire review for that, and then eventually do an entire review for Queen of Bolts when that comes out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was me rambling about this book, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and bye!